Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and Merry Christmas to all of you that are celebrating either today or tomorrow, depending on which part of the world you are in. I hope you have an absolutely amazing time. Today, I'm going to be playing my favorite German tanks inside the game. This was the first nation I ever grinded in World of Tanks back in 2011, and they still have a very warm place in my heart, and today I'm going to let you know exactly why. So, today I almost feel like starting at tier 6 because the VK3601 is just an absolute banger, and this was the first tank I ever got a Collar Battles medal in. But, you know what, at tier 7, I'm probably still going to pick the real reason why I started to play World of Tanks, which has to be Tiger. The Tiger tank. How cliche is it? And let me know how cliche it is in the comments down below. If you started World of Tanks with for the same reason as me, that you wanted to go and grind towards tier 7 to be able to get the Tiger, because you thought, wow, I know about a Tiger tank, it's got to be a good one, right? The Tiger's a good tank, right? Yeah. It's got this huge status. And then in World of Tanks, you see them. They're cool to have, but whether they're really all that is another question altogether. And unfortunately, when you get yourself into a map and a matchup like this is definitely not what you want to be doing with the Tiger. So I got two builds on this tank, one with a turbo, one without a turbo. I'm going to drop the turbo on this map because it doesn't really matter. So with regards to the Tiger, as he alt tabs to rearrange something on his desktop, the Tiger basically just has really good damage per minute, and these days, much better alpha than it used to have. I believe this vehicle back in the day used to have 240 alpha, but for Wargaming buffed it up to 280. So now, it's not really a joke. Also, the penetration on this tank at 203 is great. It always had 203. Its gold rounds could be a little bit better, really, but very good for kind of like that free-to-play style, right? Is that Lynx just driving about like an absolute crazy lad? Of course he is. You know, it's Christmas. Of course he's going to be driving around like a crazy lad. Everyone's bombing it around like mad beings playing World of Tanks. You know what the Tiger is actually really good at? Is playing like this mid-snipey role. So what I'm going to do is probably go up into the window around here and try and snipe across into the center. So while the Tiger has a really good gun, and it's an enjoyable experience for sniping out against your opponents, I'm not going to pretend like the Tiger has a very good armor layout. Its armor layout is horrible. It's basically just a 100mm box. And 100mm doesn't sound bad in World of Tanks until you realize that most tier 5s can challenge this thing's armor, let alone the up to 9s that this vehicle will have to deal with. Hope this 430 doesn't mind me sharing this position. I most likely have better view range than him. Definitely one of the upsides of playing a tank that has 380 meters base view range, and once you've got the field mods on it, you get that field mod that increases the view range by at least about another 3%. You'll easily get, even without coated optics on this tank, up to like 450 meters view range, which is enough to spot your opponents. What, that ELC even 90? I don't think he rammed the Shelmer, but it kind of looked like he did. So yeah, I think what the Tiger is good for is playing this kind of more pseudo-support role and not just being the brawly heavy. You know, I don't have the turret armor. But what I do have is a very accurate sniping gun, as we managed to just put another round into that Lynx. And these are decent hits into higher tier tanks. The Shelmer was tier 9. The Lynx is tier 8. We're definitely assisting. And then what we can do is we can save our hit points for later on, where maybe our opponents are a little bit weakened, or alternatively there's more opportunity to be able to catch them. Because the Tiger has... What are you shooting me for? What's your problem? Apparently he's not having a very good Christmas. The Tiger just... It has a lot of hit points, but it doesn't have any of the armor to go along with it. So as soon as you start to poke, it's just not very good news, right? So I'll go alongside the 430. He could have just asked me to assist him there. He didn't have to shoot me. I'm almost thinking about dropping back, but I guess this guy's is this project going to go after me, or is it going to go after someone else? This is really scary right now. I'm not going to lie. Absolutely terrifying. That's not good. What? How do I should have shot him in the side of the turret there. I guess I shot him on his downward angled armor there. I don't manage to get the shot. Okay, this 430 wants to just leave. Please leave. Please don't just block me and leave me up in front of the IS-3. Please just stop doing this to me, Mr. 430. I understand that he wants to do a turn in the road. Just a turn in the road both times when I would have loved to have got out of that scenario. would have been great. Okay, I wonder if these heavies will stop to try and engage across here. Should I do a rolling retreat where I'm pretending like I'm going? I think I have to keep going because otherwise the T-29 and... Oh, no, and a BZ-58 is going to come after me. There's the T-29. Do I have depression over the back of my tank? I tell you what, this tank's going to give me depression in this map and matchup, that's for sure. Can I go in here and then hopefully be able to defend myself? That T-29 is going to go hold down against me. Apparently there's some bread in here. Well, unfortunately, I think my opponents are about to get bread from farming me in this scenario. Okay, I got a T-29 behind me. The Skoda's going in after the 430. I've got an IS-3 in the window. No hope to be able to deal with that gentleman behind me here. The Toro is chasing me, and that's an auto-loading, terrifying tank that's also faster than me. I just feel as if I am a big, just absolute potato snack for my opponents right now. An absolute potato snack. I don't really think there's too much I could do, and at least I do a little bit of damage to the Toro. So what went wrong here? What went wrong here, I think, is that frankly the enemy had better hull-down tanks, and while the Tiger has a nice sniping opportunity, I guess I could have got like one more shot in against the Skoda, but when they've all got auto-loaders, when they've all got those wonderful turrets, it just leaves you as a little bit of an awkward trading tank inside a matchup like this. That Toro 360 alpha makes me look awful, and it hits me every 3 seconds. A little bit rough. So the Tiger's telling me that I need to look your map in the game. Yeah, okay, Mr. 430. I think it's totally the bottom tier heavy's fault. Totally the bottom tier heavy's fault. Nothing to do with you being full health and running away from that situation that we maybe could have held on the corner. Oh well. Unfortunately, my first ever tank betrayed me today. But I probably could have put a little bit more damage in. Okay, so that was tier 7. Now we're going to jump up to tier 8. And I think, I mean, obviously the Tiger 2 is just a classic to me. This was, when I got this, I really figured out how important angled armor was. A great tank. Just the problem is there are so many more OP tier 8s these days. You know what? I think my favorite has to be the Borsig. The Borsig's quite an interesting pick as well, because the Borsig has 2 competitive guns, right? It has 150mm and it has 128mm. The 150mm, this sounds weird, but the bigger gun is actually much lighter. And if you take the 150mm on this tank, you actually improve your power to weight by not a small margin. I think it's by 10%. That's how much of the weight of this tank is solely down to the gun. And yeah, you can kind of see why. It's just a gigantic gun on this kind of chassis to be able to transport it, right? So the 150mm on this tank, it's a bit of a weird one. In some ways, it's more pay to win because it has really good gold. But in other ways, you can manage to do some work with the HE and the AP shells on this tank. I'd say the 128mm is still better if you absolutely utterly want to play at long range and only snipe. But I'd say the 150mm for an experienced player who also knows the importance of having to brawl towards the latter part of the game is absolutely wonderful. Now, a couple of tips for this tank. One, experimental turbo. You can see I'm able to get around at 40 kilometers an hour. With the second field mod to improve my ground resistances, you can actually make tank destroyers quite nimble. When I combine that as well with snapshot on my gunner and snapshot directive that you see me using, that will actually improve my turret traverse dispersion by 20%. And that means that we don't get nearly so much bloom in this vehicle. And when we don't get so much bloom in this vehicle, we should have a blooming good time at dealing with our opponents, right? So this position over here, I'm very worried about getting blind fired. This bush is so obvious, and that bush is so obvious. But, oh, so close! If only these shells weren't such awful shell velocity. Makes me think that I should have the cruise skill, the perfect charge that improves the shell velocity on this vehicle. Might be quite nice for being able to hit those shells. And yeah, this gun is definitely not a sniper. If I'd been using the 128mm, I would have been up on damage so far this game. That's all there is to say. I would have been up on damage. 100% I would have hit that shell on the Scorpion. But, on the other hand, this gun is hitting over 50% harder. It's 260 extra alpha damage. And when you have 260 extra alpha damage, that gives you some leeway, right? It gives you some leeway. So yeah, I'm really worried about this bush location. It is very, very, very sus to sit here, but, you know. we almost have time to go like, nah, 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 after we fire when the target's going to die. Although, you know, if I did that and the target didn't die, I'd look pretty stupid, right? So these AP shells on this tank, they're slow shell velocity, but the real joke on this tank has to be the heat shells. The heat shells actually have 500 meters a second, so you are literally flinging them at your opponents. Interestingly, the HE shells on this tank are the same as the AP shells at 600 as well. So that UDES is bombing it away from us as you would expect, but if I aim here and I try to imagine, he'll have to turn, right? I don't think he'll just chill at the back. He might. He's like right about there right now. Oh, he just disappeared. You know what? I'll take it. I'll have a swing anyway, for a little bit of RNG. You know, it is Christmas after all. There's meant to be some magic in the air. Unfortunately, that tiger game wasn't very magical. Wasn't very Christmassy. I've got to stop saying that. It's in my mind so much. It's just, my brain is rotted. Brain is absolutely rotted. So there's a UDES at the back. There's a CC-67. Could be anywhere. Remember, these tanks, they're fairly sneaky, but this vehicle is not very durable, and if I get spotted, that TVP could shred me in about 6 seconds with his HE shells. But that's good right there. Got to give lots of lead in this gun, remember? Oh baby, yeah, 853. Nobody wants to get hit by the Borsig, and the wonderful thing as well is when you've got such a long reload, you can hide while you're re-stealthing, and then deliver it again. Deliver it again. Some of you out there might even want to consider dropping a gun rammer on this vehicle, but I do feel that the gun rammer, it's not that inaccurate is what I'm trying to say. It's got 0.4 accuracy. Trust me, 0.4 accuracy is not good. I'm in no way suggesting 0.4 accuracy is good in World of Tanks. Oh, here comes a shell velocity test. I have to aim quite low. So yeah, when you've got very slow shells, the game like arcs them more. So if you're leading a target, you actually have to give, you have to compensate by aiming slightly lower to hit more of the shells. Well, we've done elite damage so far. Dang, this is why I love this tank. Oh no, how did I get spotted? SU in the corner. I lost all my hit points. That wasn't, don't say it. Wasn't very nice of him, okay? Wasn't very nice of him. I wonder who's spotting me though. Probably, it could be a Borsig, could have come back. Just could have been an SU in the bushes over there. That charioteer can't see me, can he? If I sit still, I'm incredibly stealthy in this vehicle. Need him to go forwards a little bit more. I can't actually shoot through that gap. It's a bit of a bug. That pillar is actually modeled, so if you're wondering why I wasn't shooting at the big gap, that's a bug in World of Tanks. Boop. Oh, it's so satisfying. Those boops are so satisfying. They really are. Oh, man. I love the Borsig. I got a great win ratio in the Borsig. I think this is a fabulous tank destroyer. One of the reasons why this vehicle is just so good is because you can, in those horrible matchups with the 334 heat pen, just still go through everything. I'm not going to aim at that Borsig. I think he's going to fall back down the ridge and I won't be able to shoot him over there. Although I could loop the shell, but I think my Grom's okay. I think what I want to do is I'm going to go greedy. I'm going to load an HE shell because I think the SU was over here roughly. And I'm going to try and get... I could have got him. I'm going to go for the SU. I'm going to go... No! 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 Okay, I'm going to switch back to AP because I think it'll be time for the 48. But where's the 48 hiding then? That 48 must be over there. Oh, no. Okay, okay. YOLO. And that's why you take the snapshot and the experimental turbo. You could even go one stage further and take a rotation device to be able to improve that. All right, well, we got 3 kills and 2,500 combined. Looks like it's my lucky day. Looks like I am feeling a little bit Christmassy. GG. GG is what we should call out, but we can't all chat anymore. I like the Borsig. It's a really good tank. If you haven't tried this thing with the 150, set it up like I recommend. Make sure you get yourself intuition. The only thing I really would want is to have a much better loader on this tank. I would love to have ammo tuning. I would love to have perfect charge to improve that shell velocity. And with all of that, it could be really deadly. All right, that was my favorite tier 8. Now let's think about what my favorite tier 9 is. Oh, there's quite a few. I love the Jagdtiger. Leopard prototype's good. I love the T-54D. This thing seems to just get me highlight after highlight after highlight. But I'm going to have to choose these 75. Come on, I mean, the E75, this was my first ever tier 9 tank back in the day. And it still holds a warm place in my heart to this day because of it. The E75 wasn't the original tier 9 German heavy tank. The original tier 9 German heavy tank would have been the VK4502B. Would you believe it? The tech tree went VK3601, Tiger, VK4502, oh no, Tiger 2, and then it went VK4502B, and then it went Mouse. But before I actually managed to get up the tech tree, so this would have been in, I guess, August 2011. Before I actually got there, before I managed to research the VK, they released the E75. So I think all of the experience that I was grinding on my Tiger 2 towards the VK ended up going towards the VK, so I went towards the E75 instead. And so I got the E75 as my first vehicle. You know what? It's Christmas. I'm gonna be one of the wise men and start this game with a little bit of gold. Just in case, you know. Actually, you know what? This matchup doesn't really need it, but quite often I like to fire gold at the start of the battle in a tank like this where the gold rounds are just clearly better. You're going from 246 up to 311 because sometimes it's about setting the tempo with the first shell or two that then allows you to snowball and start to have easier shots later on. I feel like sometimes the game is often decided by in the first couple of shells. And if you allow your opponents to get an idea of being better than you, then that cannot be great at all. Well, looks like my opponent is having the same mentality, right? I definitely wouldn't have penned his turret if I wasn't firing gold there. So, you know, maybe those 500 hit points that we got into the AMX will be instrumental in us actually winning this battle. Definitely don't need gold for Pat in the tank here. Really wish this Basante wasn't here, but he, you know what, he's just playing World of Tanks. That's an E75 TS. It's actually pretty deadly. Don't want to put my gun in my friend here. Ooh, yeah, we can just pen his mantlet with gold as well. I just love the E75. This tank used to have 490 alpha. I can't believe Wargaming buffed it. It's the kind of tank that I thought was very strong. M103 is terrifying for this tank, though. The reason why an M103 is terrifying... Sorry, Basante. The reason why the M103 is terrifying for this tank is it has really good heat rounds. Relevant of what the gun is. I believe even its stock gun has 400 alpha and heat pen as well. But I think just the standard pen is bad, as far as I can remember. You know what? I never played an M103 when it was stock. M103 was my first ever YouTube video, though. Would you believe it? Back in the day. All right, here's a Miel trying to spread love and honey. No, thank you, Mr. Miel. Are my G-Saws going to be able to handle that guy? I really hope they are. I can't believe that's so filthy what those gold rounds do to that guy's mantlet. Alright. See what I mean about setting the pace or the tempo of the damage, and I can't intuition switch here. I think what I might do is just shoot this G-Saw once on the move and then load an HE shell for the E75 TS. Okay, good. Sorry, XM. Can we go? Otherwise I'm gonna get shot by more G-Saws. I don't really want to have this HE shell loaded now. Did the E75 die? I should be loading AP then. Let's switch to AP and go after this G-Saw. Alright, so we've spammed a little bit of gold at the start of this game. We penetrated, what, 5 or so shells? And then this is the stage of the game where I feel like now the shots don't matter so much. I've already 3-marked this tank, so it's fine. And now, if I bounce an AP shell or so, it's not really the biggest of deals, right? So I'm going to go for some AP shells, be a little bit more economical. And unfortunately, because I'm not using a turbo, the cleanup is a little bit awkward. So interesting that Pat in the tank there was able to reveal the biggest weakness by far of the E75, and that is that even if you keep the thickest part of your armor towards your opponents, the lower plate is still fairly dreadful. No, it's not awful, let me clarify, in a nice matchup. But I would consider this to be a nice matchup against 8s and 9s, and it's still not ideal. Oh man, is this ISG 152 about to teach me some respect? Not as much as I'm about to chew. Oh, come on, man. Can't interrupt me like that. Nice 600 spotting there. Oh, ISU's using the baby gun. He actually penned me there. I wonder if he overmatched my upper hull there. Anyway, I'll turn my turret tools in. Wow, these guys are giving my armor a good old test right now. Giving my armor a good old test. Where's the ISU? Oh, hello. Nice. This is just E75. You know, king of the hill. Just sitting up here on my throne. Just laughing at my opponents. Having the big old gun, you know. Having the armor, which I'll angle like this way in case the Udez starts nailing me. I'm not even going to leave my throne. I'm going to let all my minions do the work. That's right. Go get them. Dig them out for me. So that your divine ruler can be able to farm at the end of the game. Probably going to get shot by a Udez in a second. Good try, ISU. Good try. You revealed yourself to the baby. Revealing yourself to the baby is the last thing that you ever did. Nah. No, I'm not going to do that. What am I regressing nicely? 37 years old and literally just becoming more juvenile. Is that what happens? Possibly. Anyway, good game here. 5,200 combined. Hold on, I can't count. Whoa, 6,200 combined? Meaty game of World of Tanks. That's good. That's good. It's a good game always for an E75. Did I do anything special here, really? No, I just used the strengths of the tank. And that is reasonably good armor to block 3,000 damage. Combine that with a nice, big, meaty alpha damage and good penetration. And that's all she wrote for the enemy team. And that is why I still love the E75 to this day. Just what an absolute banger of a tank, really. And yeah, don't be afraid to sling a few gold rounds, especially around this time when everybody's making a lot of credits. Because as long as you're not whiffing them, I'm not saying to just fire if you don't know if they're going to pen. But know about your penetration capabilities, know about your opponent's armor capabilities, hopefully. And like I made 76,000 credits. I spent 34 in ammunition. Even if we were to take away the holiday ops bonus, I would have still made 40k in that last game. The gold rounds are there to be used. And on a vehicle like this, sometimes it's about having just that big old dangerous gun and having the armor to be able to sit in front of your opponents and them not being able to do the same to you. Alright, so now, ladies and gents, I've got a really hard decision to try and pick my favorite tanks at tier 10 for Germany. You know what? First up, E50M. I know. A lot of you are probably thinking, QB, are you okay? Are you well? I thought you said the E50M was weak. And yeah, I think it was. I think the E50M was weak back in the day, personally. I think it was a poor vehicle. It was okay for sniping, sure. But it was basically like an E50 that loaded gold and fired at its standard. I'd rather play an E50 at tier 9, have better matchmaking. And I know its armor is maybe a little bit better than the E50, but definitely not worth stepping up to tier 10. However, what I will say is that things have changed in World of Tanks. Now we have durabilities. Now we have turbos. I can use the fuel, so I use a Spoliner instead of that as well, so we can have a little bit of fun. And that allows us to actually be a little bit more aggressive with our mobility and also, specifically, with ramming our opponents, because that's what it is all about. Unfortunately, this map, I'm not going to mince my words, it's a horrible map for ramming opportunities. This map is super long range. We're not going to have any opportunities to really catch our opponents at close distances. It's all going to be kind of like decent distance work. But what I want to do at the start of the battle is just make my way into position and tell the squad that I'm going to help them out. And try to look for sniping shots. And then I'll keep my ramming capabilities for later on in this game. So there's a DZT-159, a little bit of a scary tank. I'm spotted, but I've got fairly good turret armor. I can take hits from most things. And this is where hopefully... I see a tree fall at the back, by the way. This is where hopefully I can start to use my accuracy. And that's what the E50M has, is good accuracy for sure. There's the Borsig. Let's see if we can get him as well. We can. Beautiful. And here's the cool thing. Setting this vehicle up like this. Look, you're not great at sniping. You're not great at sniping in all of these situations. But when you're still okay. Alright? I know. You don't have the gun rammer. You don't even have vents. You're definitely like a whole class below. I'm like a tier 9 at tier 10 right now. But The thing is that later on in this game, those 2,400 hit points that we have and the extra insane mobility that we have might start to pay dividends. It might start to pay dividends. By the way, I'd like to show you all just how mobile this thing can get with like this fuel and this turbo. When I hold the space bar and I wiggle like this, like it's just, look at that responsiveness on the tracks. It's just absolutely bonkers. Look at this traverse speed as well. I mean, this is a 60-ton tank turning right now. It's almost as if it's a joke at that kind of speed. So yeah, I do definitely enjoy a little bit of E50M pirouettes. Oh, I didn't think about that scorpion being in pairs at the back of the map. The mouse fired at me though, right? So I should be able to get him in. Nice. We'll do a little bit of a double punish on the mouse. I'm kind of thinking about going along the inside here. I don't think they have many snipers in the field. Ooh, maybe they do. Do you think they have snipers in the field? Probably do. A Borsig. I don't think it's time to commit yet. I don't think it's time to commit. I think we just be a little bit chill still. I love committing along the inside. If I'm playing a sneaky tank, my sneaky tank will... Am I going to get spotted here by the scorpions? No. Ooh. I don't think I've done the random event on this map so much. I haven't done the random event. I think I hit another scorpion, most likely. At least I hope I did. Just hopefully keep punishing these scorpions blind. Oh no, I think I hit the barrel instead. That one definitely didn't hit. Ooh. What happens here with these random events? I guess I can just make my way through the town now. Oh, interesting. I'm going to explore this. We're going to do a little bit of discovering on YouTube right now, boys and girls. So I've got a better shot on this 140 right now. Interesting. So you've got a little platform to really work the street. You've got a little bit of cover here as well for this guy. Interesting. A little bit of a high ground position inside the building. I like this idea. Wow, it really shows you how bad my rate of fire is there. If a DZT-159 is challenging me. But I don't think he realizes his turret isn't as good as it actually is here. I got 330 heat, mate. You can't do that. You're trying your best, but you're missing your shots, mate. What happens if I go across over here as well? Can I have a better angle on him over here? Or what about this? Is he going to reverse? I don't think maybe he'll have thought about this angle. I think he's either looking for me, but he might reverse. Should I just try and hunt him right now? Can I go over here? Just learning this random encounter. Looks like you can't maybe go up this street. Oh, maybe you can. Oh, it's close. Maybe if I go from this part and then I go over the rubble this way, I can. Oh, if any tank should be able to do it, it should be a fast E50M, right? Looks like this is meant to be a one-way trip. But Wargaming didn't think about the E50M being so fat and fast. There we go. Hello. I should be able to flank this guy along here, right? Surprise, mother buzzer. Oh, even bounce him. Beautiful. Oh, I should have watched out for those scorpions hitting me in the side there. Interesting. I don't have a med kit, but at least I didn't take any damage from the shell, only my tracks. Spell liner working out for me right now. Let's do an intuition switch here and try and go for the scorpion. Oh, what's that? Is that a 416? Oh my god, that is delicious. Oh, he just got absolutely minced though. XM57 as well? I've got to go protect this flank quickly, post haste. Nearly had a shot there. Am I spotting that XM57? Goodness gracious. Dude, I haven't rammed anything. I've been alive for 5 minutes in my E50M and I haven't rammed anything. I love killing those XM57s, I'm not going to lie. I'm not sure how any of you feel, but for me, the XM57s, they feel like they're so annoying to play against when they just sit there and hold. And to be fair, I'm not judging people playing the XM57 like that. It's a valid playstyle in the tank. Oh wow, look, when the rubble comes here, you can actually go through this part of the street as well. Interesting. I mean, I've actually slipped up there before in an E50M. Without the rubble being there. But it was chancy, and I don't think that I could do it multiple times. I'd have to find the perfect kind of angle. Mr. Leopard 1, where are you? They got two Borasigs in the corner. and 2 scorpions and a mouse at the back of the map. I'm trying to think about how I break through here. I got to be really careful. If I get spotted, I could just get absolutely blasted and the whole game's done. So I think I still got to chill. Oh, there's a Borsig. Clearly must be over here then. Wow, we can just go like this. That's nice. I don't have to drive out in front of him now. I could tell the Cobra I'm going to help him. The problem is the Borsig is a really sneaky tank. Oh, they got a Scorpion in the field as well. Ooh, that means there's probably 2 Borsigs and a Scorpion out in the field. So let's go after them. The only sad thing about my build is that my view range is actually really bad on this tank because I believe I lower it to increase my ramming damage. So I got to watch out for that. But hopefully I can still spot here without getting uber dinged. All right, there's multiple ways that I could play this right now. I could just rush at them. But I think probably what I should do is actually just wait for them to maybe progress in just a little bit. If they progress in a little bit. Because if they spot me, there's no way they're going to attack, right? The other way that I could look at this now is they've left the south open and I could go and try and press the leopards. But this is where in the E50M that I'm just not the... Oh, here we go. Okay. Priority number 1. Kill the Borsig in the field. Do you think they've got both? They've got a Borsig covering a Borsig. I like the way the enemy team are playing here. It's good. Their artillery is over in the other corner. This is tough, actually. This Borsig are clearly not stupid. Did he spot me? He didn't. I'm going to go hunt that leopard. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go hunt that leopard. And then I can deal with the Borsigs at the end. The enemy are actually doing a really good job at coming back into this game. It's going to be a really tricky round, actually. Dang, did that Scorpion spot me? He did. Okay. There's one. Oh, the mouse is there still. Scorpion's out there. That's a different Scorpion though. Gotta try and get this mouse here, please. Oh no. Do you think the Type 5 Heavy will hold without me? Can I spot this mouse? There's the Scorpion. Oh, he got me. I'm so dead, I think. Artie will get me in a second. I bounced the mouse. There, we got him. I think I got to go into the town before the mouse reloads. Oh, this is close. Really close. I'm not used to this town environment right now with the opportunities that it brings. I guess I should load AP here. The Borsig can't kill me in a single shot, but the Scorpion definitely can. I wonder if the Scorpion will think about this angle. That mouse actually ended up making a pretty good pullback play, didn't he? I could try and flank the mouse, I guess. This should be safe, right? Don't think the mouse will get me across here, will he? No. I'm going to tell my charioteer that I want to help him. Make my way in across the east. See if I can get rid of this mouse. The mouse is a one-shot for me. Asking this charioteer to come and help. I should be able to outspot a mouse, but it's pretty close. I wonder if their mouse... Well, there he is. He spotted me. He did see me. There was my kill shot. Oh, whoa, the ridgeline was bugged. Did you see that? The ridgeline was bugged. This means the Scorpion might actually drop back here. Big moment. Yes. Yes, dude. Okay, that Borsig will probably come back to try and hunt me, and the Scorpion will come back to try and hunt me. We'll hunt this, mother buzzer. There we go. Oh, there's the Borsig. Now we just need to watch out for the Scorpion. That Borsig can outspot me. I think what I do is I just get under here and then make myself awkward for the Scorpion and just have a different angle. Because I think the Kari has hit points to maybe try and push the Scorpion. If I was the Scorpion, I'd have fallen back either to here or to around here. So I think what I do right now is just chill. Maybe I can use those bushes. I gotta be careful because if the Borsig is using a spotting build, he will be able to outspot me right now. I'm really worried that he'll go... I feel like I don't want to push, but I just feel like I have to right now, boys and girls. This is such a risk. It really is. It's such a risk to make a push play when they've got better spotting than me, and the Scorpion could be literally anywhere right about now. I could wait for my team to cap. Please come cap. Please come cap. Please come cap. Why don't you cap, dude? Okay, never mind. The Borsig is in the field, I guess. I have to push because if the Cobra gets caught by the Borsig, it's GG. And then he can come and get me at the end. Dude, if the Borsig runs away, I guess I have to cap then. This is so garbage. This Cobra is so garbage, dude. Why didn't you just come and sit in the cap, you selfish little gobelino? If you had sat in the cap, it would have been okay. Now the Borsig could come in and interrupt the cap, and that's it. It's GG. What is Borsig HP? Why does nobody just talk at all? I'm playing on the EU1 server. It should be English-speaking players. Okay. Oh, he can see... What? Okay, so now... No, it's a different Cobra. Okay, if he's got 450 hit points, then I need to intuition switch to an HE and try and hit him in the turret. We should be able to win anyway. Let's go! Oh, man, this was a really fun game. You don't usually get to have close opportunities like this. All right, I'm not going to reset. I'm not going to reset. I'll go make the QuickyBaby thumbnail, right? That's what we got to do. Get some QuickyBaby thumbnail going. Yeah. Good. The type even gets the kill. GG. Beautiful game for an E50M. I didn't get to show you its ramming capabilities. Oh, wait, I did. I got to show you that I went in against a leopard and I did 800 damage and I took 430 damage in reply because he shot me. So, showed you that having that mobility to be able to just go in and make the play against the leopard was actually really juicy. And this is why I love the E50M. But, let me clarify, it took all of the new equipment for me to love this tank. Honestly, I don't think this is like a gun rammer kind of vehicle. I know that's going to be controversial for a lot of people. I'd also like to clarify, I do have a second build with a gun rammer for this tank. It's just I'd never take it outside of an onslaught. I love turbo, spiral liner, so I can use the fuel, drop the med kit, take no damage when I ram things, take very little damage from artillery, and also take that durability device. So you can basically be a heavy tank driving around with above average medium tank mobility, 25 horsepower per ton. For a 63-ton tank, perfection. Well, that was a good round for the E50M. But you know what? I just love so many tier 10 German tanks that I'm also going to play the Grille. And I'm going to tell you a build that has made me fall in love with the Grille all over again. There's a few highlights here. Firstly, perfect charge. It increases the shell velocity of these rounds to a ridiculous amount. I'm going to probably have about 1,400 meters a second shell velocity. Next, pretty much full accuracy, gun handling, the snapshot directive, which doubles the effect of snapshot, and that just makes this thing feel oh so good with its gun handling. By far the worst thing about the Grille is the turret traverse dispersion. It's 0.4. It has, I think, probably the worst turret traverse dispersion of any tier 10 tank. Maybe the FV405 comes in close, but the Grille feels horrendous. So by using the snapshot directive, by using snapshot itself, you're getting 20% reduced dispersion. combine that with an experimental turbo, and now you also have some mobility to go with it. Next, I like to use an exhaust on both builds. I have a gun rammer for when it's a close quarters combat situation, and I have the aiming device for when it's a little bit more of a snipey situation. But I feel like on this tank, honestly, I don't really mind having the longer reload as long as I can just accurately deliver my shots. And the exhaust allows you to actually poke bushes and not get spotted. This is by far my favorite build on the Grille, and it has been making me enjoy this tank oh so much more than I used to on this vehicle. It kind of reminds me a little bit of what the Grille kind of used to feel like. But then again, when I think about it, while the Grille was clearly nerfed, it's not as if all of the aspects that I've been enhancing on this tank were the aspects that were nerfed. The aspects that were nerfed about this vehicle, I guess maybe the actual bloom on the turret was one of the nerfed aspects. Let's see if I can get this EBR. Oh, I should have been able to hit this shot. That's a lame shot. Lame shot. Wasn't even close. But yeah, you can see I got 1,349 meters a second shell velocity with AP. So that's more like an APCR round on this vehicle. Hopefully the exhaust keeps me hidden, especially if I sit still. I've probably got a lot better camera raising when I sit still on this tank. I still got to be careful. If they are using vision systems, they're going to be able to hunt me. But yeah, this is just insane accuracy. I think it's something like 0.2 accuracy that I have right now. And you can see that with the gun handling improvement, that even with the 0.2 accuracy, well, even though I'm getting quite bad bloom when I turn the turret, it's not horrendous. It's not horrendous. It's workable. This bush is very sus, by the way. Maybe I should have just taken that epic win that we had on Siegfried Line in the E50M and not played another tier 10 German. But I just want to talk about the Grille. I love this tank. It's a really fun one. Oh, here we go. Mr. Caro. Going to show you in the wrong neck of the woods. Oh, yeah. Honestly, this thing, it shoots, it hits, it does it again. Yesterday, during the charity stream, or when you're watching this on the 24th, a few days ago on the charity stream, I played this tank with 44,000 DPI on my mouse. Firstly, I think it aged my wrist by about 10 years. Oh, no. Looks like that T100 LT has good view range. So firstly, it aged my wrist by about 10 years to play like that, but I still managed to clap out like 4,500 damage. I got to take the risk here. Oh, it was a risk. Look at that. EBR tried to get me, but he just revealed his position. Trying to accurately hit these shots. I wonder if those bushes... I was actually spotting that EBR. I don't think the T100 LT will see me at that kind of a distance. Oh, it's just... I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I got spotted. I'm wrong. Greedy. I wanted to help out my T100 LT. So, ladies and gents, boys and girls, don't be greedy like me. At least in the game. You know, it's Christmas. Go and indulge. Get some good food. Have a good time with your friends. Have an absolutely amazing Christmas, boys and girls. Or happy holidays if you're not doing the whole Christmas thing on the 24th or the 25th. From me, Christmas is a time to be appreciative, and I am massively appreciative of all of you, my wonderful community, for staying with me for over 12 years now, as my voice breaks. And as we enter 2025, we're going into my 13th year of content creation, and let's hope that it's not an unlucky year. It's going to be a lucky one, unlike this game in the Grille here. I guess I got a little bit greedy here. But I really felt like we had to get rid of that light tank in that scenario. But GG to the enemy TDs for shutting me down so hard. So once again, massive thank you to you all for supporting my content. Really hope you enjoyed these games in my favorite German tanks today. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below, what are your favorite German tanks and why? And all that's left to say is just have an amazing time over the next couple of days with hopefully your friends and family. And if you're not, enjoy the battlefield, but be nice to each other, be good to each other. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.